Putting your home on the market? Today we're going to talk about simple ways to take your home from looking cheap to looking chic. Let's get started. Hey everyone, my name is Sarah. I'm a real estate agent in Eastern Massachusetts. I help buyers, sellers, investors, landlords, builders with all of their real estate needs. So if you're planning on making a move in Massachusetts in the next 6, 12, 18 months, reach out. It's never too early to start the conversation. My contact info will be on the screen somewhere as well as in the comments below. All right, let's get started. Buyers looking for a home are not just looking at the dollars and cents and location, although both are critical in buying a home. Buyers are looking for a lifestyle. They want to be able to picture themselves in your house. And when they walk in and they look around and they get the sense that your house is cheap looking, they're going to think that everything in that house is cheap, from the materials used for the roof to the mechanicals to the flooring to the windows. And that's the last thing you want a buyer to think about when they walk into your house. You want a buyer to be impressed when they walk in the house, and you don't want a buyer to look at the house and then think to themselves, oh dear. So let's talk about some ways you can ensure that when buyers walk into your house, cheap is the last thing they think of. The first thing you want to do is get rid of all of the kitschy stuff. This isn't just decluttering and cleaning, although both of those are crucial. This is getting rid of the live, love, laugh signs that are all over your house. This is getting rid of all of the uber trendy things that you've kind of mixed and matched throughout your house. Think less is more. And if you want to have a live, laugh, love, just have one and put it somewhere discreet, like, in the bathroom, a small little framed saying, above the toilet or something like that. You don't want it splattered all over your house. Remember, people want to picture themselves and picture their lifestyle in your house, and nothing screams cheap than kitschy decor on the walls and on surfaces. So sorry to say, but get rid of the live, laugh, love. The next thing you want to do, and this again kind of falls under the decluttering, but that is get rid of any excess furniture that you have throughout your house. Remember, you want lots of floor space. You want, when people walk into your house, to be able to move around your living area and your kitchen and not have to like shimmy, between, 3 chairs and 2 sectionals and that sort of thing. So get rid of excess furniture. Your living room should just have, a couch, a love seat, a chair, a coffee table, an end table. Done. But really shouldn't have lots of other things, because 2 things. 1, it makes your house look cheap. And 2, it tells potential buyers that you don't have enough room. You need to add all this excess shelving and such in your kitchen and in your bathroom to accommodate all of your needs. So you don't want to give that impression to potential buyers. So get rid of excess furniture. You have to move all this stuff out anyhow when you sell your home. So no time like the present. Another thing that you may not think of as a seller, but really makes a grand impression, is get rid of the cheap lighting. Add some pretty light fixtures, add some really nice, can lights. Nowadays, you really don't need to rip your ceiling apart to add, the recessed lighting. They come in these little hockey puck size things that are really, really easy to install. Get an electrician though. Replace your, cheap looking lights and light fixtures with some really nice ones. You don't need to spend thousands of dollars, although you can, but you don't need to spend thousands of dollars to impress a buyer coming in. Just get rid of the cheap looking stuff. And by the way, if you really love a light fixture that you install, you can put in the disclosure that you're taking that light fixture with you. Okay, before we move on, if you're getting value out of this video, I would really appreciate a thumbs up. And if you want to learn more about buying and selling in Massachusetts, what the real estate market is doing, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that little bell so you get notified whenever a new video drops. My goal is to hit 1,000 followers by July. So every subscription really helps me get my content out to more and more people. All right, let's continue on. The next thing you want to address to make your house go from cheap to chic is the exterior. First things first, get your house power washed if it needs it. There is nothing more cheap looking than a buyer walking up to a house and seeing green moss all over the side of the house and vegetation growing out of the gutters. You don't want buyers to think that you don't maintain your house, which in turn gives buyers a feeling that the house is cheap. You want to make sure that buyers know that you care about this house and you maintain this house. And also, curb appeal is everything. In order to get those buyers to get out of the car and walk up to your front door, you need to give them a reason to do that. You need to impress buyers enough that they're going to take the 15 or 20 minutes to look at your house rather than skip over your house and go to the next one. And nothing is more inviting than beautiful curb appeal, which includes making sure your house is clean on the exterior. Power wash it if you need to. It includes making sure your gutters are clean. It includes making sure that your flower beds are clean and that you have a nice, clean welcome mat in the front and some really pretty flowers. Nothing screams cheap more than fake flowers. Please do not put fake flowers in your house. Yes, I have seen that done before. Get rid of anything that you have junk-wise laying around your house. Everyone has that pile of junk in their yard. Don't leave it leaning up against your house. Put it behind a shed or get rid of it because, like I said, you're moving. You're going to have to get rid of that stuff anyhow. No time like the present. Nothing screams cheap more than random pieces of wood or old kids' toys that you sort of have left on the side of the house, or, potted plants that have died, and instead of getting rid of it, you just throw it over to the side of your house. It's cheap looking. Buyers don't like it. Buyers are not interested in cleaning up your mess, and having all that junk around the house does not give a positive impression of a lifestyle, of a really nice lifestyle that buyers are buying. Remember, buyers are buying not just location and price, but they're buying a lifestyle. Next thing is fix all of the little things that are easy to fix. If you have loose doorknobs, tighten the doorknobs. If you have trim that needs to get touched up with paint, touch it up with paint. Remember, it's the impression of a beautiful life that you want your buyers to feel when they walk into that house. And if you don't take care of those little things, then your buyers are going to think that you've cheaped out on not just the little things, but on the big things as well. And having worked with buyers, they have said it and they believe it. If you cheap out on the little things and can't manage to get the little fix-its done, who's to say that you're taking care of the big fix-its? Take care of those little fix-its and you don't have to worry about them again. And the last thing is, nothing screams cheap more than a million different types of flooring that you have around your house. The less variety of flooring you have on each level of your home, the nicer your home is going to look. So you want to stick to either hardwood floor and, throughout the main level, or hardwood floor and carpeting in the living areas, and maybe tile in the kitchen. And the same thing with the upstairs and the lower level. Don't use those little square tiles in your main living area. Basement, one thing. Main living area, if you have cheap carpeting, get rid of it. If you have dirty carpeting, clean it. If you can rip it out, if it's really old and, not worthy of cleaning, rip it out and put some hardwood floor in. Or at the very least, nice quality, good carpeting. If you can't manage to take care of those small things, buyers are not going to trust that you've taken care of the big things. So if you don't want your house to look cheap when you come in, try to get the flooring to at least be consistent on each level of your house. Okay, hopefully some of these were helpful to you. If they were and you got value out of this video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. And if you're interested in learning more about buying and selling in Massachusetts, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that little bell so you get notified whenever a new video drops. Looking to make a move in the next 6, 12, 18 months, get in touch with me. It's never too early to start the conversation. My contact info will be on this screen and in the comments below. And if you have other ideas of what small, inexpensive things you can do to take your home from cheap to chic, put them in the comments below. I'm always happy to hear what you have to say, and I always respond. See you next time.